Okay, Coach, season 4.
Yeah.
Wow, it's gone by in a fury. You guys, it seems like each year you take a step up. You continually improve. Last year was obviously the best season yet. How do you improve upon that as you enter with more experience and more knowledge about this league and what it takes to succeed on the next level?
It's a great question, and honestly, the answer is we're not dealing with that question, because what I told the guys in the very first meeting, and I'll tell them again when we meet this afternoon, is we can't let our memories be bigger than our dreams. You know, we're not living off of last year. We're looking forward to next year. This is a new group. I think we only have 4 players from last year's team back. We were very fortunate that many of the guys that played with us last year are now getting paid to play somewhere else, and that's the whole idea of this league, is to move them up and on to what's coming. So we've got a brand new team here, and that means it's a brand new vibe. It's a different set of people. I think that the group, when it comes together, could be very good, but I think it's going to take us some time to get there. So does it happen as quickly as it happened last year? I don't know. You know, it takes what it takes, and it takes as long as it takes. But we really like the group that we have, and so we're excited about that, and I think that the fans are going to really enjoy watching them play.
I know you haven't been together on the pitch for all that long, but you're involved in the construction of this roster. Yeah. So what do you like about this group going forward? Where do you see as the strengths for this team, especially as we hit the ground early?
Yeah, I think we have, and it's been really clear in training so far. I think we have more natural goal scorers in this group than last year. If you think through the team last year, Heiss obviously scored a lot of goals for us, but I think you have 5-6 guys capable of scoring in this group, and they're hungry to score. A lot of our goals last year came out of the midfield. And so I think we have a few more guys that are up front that are looking at the goal all the time. So that's exciting. Will we keep the ball as well? Will we defend as well? If you shoot a lot, that means you're maybe turning the ball over a little bit more and have to defend a little bit more. So, we'll see if that changes us. But, I think the DNA of the team is going to be one that is brave and building and keeping the ball possession-oriented, as we've always been. But I think we have a little bit more bite in front of the goal.
I was going to ask actually about the goalkeeping, because it seemed like that was such a strength for you guys last year. Do you build from the back, or it sounds like you're building the offense with the way that you constructed this roster?
Well, no, I think as a coach, I always build from the back. I mean, that's kind of the way that I was brought up in the game, and I think that you saw that over the last 2-3 seasons. We've been very stingy in how we defend the goal. We have Ari Briscoe back, who was one of the goalkeepers of the year in the league last year. We've added Joe Shaughnessy, who's a very talented young goalkeeper. David Anderson, a local goalkeeper. I think we're going to be very good there. But I always start with the center backs. I think they're the hardest to find. We have had really great success with center backs so far, and I think that we have Thiago Diaz comes back to us from last year. That helps us to have one player back there. But we've added some other players in there that they have to be able to defend. That's the job. But they also have to be able to keep the ball, because that's how we play. And I think we've done a pretty good job at finding guys that can help keep us with structure behind the ball, so that when we go forward, we're not open on the counter.
Yeah, and looking at your roster, this seems to, like, you've got more local kids, perhaps young local kids with Trey, with Noah. You mentioned David, Namek back for a second season. I mean, that's 4 guys. Has that been a goal to get more local guys, or is there just a surge of talent perhaps locally with this class, or how do you see it?
It's always been a priority for us to identify and bring in young local talent. And so we've done that this year. But they're also good enough, and so that helps. You know what I mean? So we're not just giving somebody a chance that they haven't earned. These are guys that we think are good players that are going to help us. And if you expand out just even a little bit further, we have Flavio Cruz, who grew up over in Goshen, not too far from here. Anthony Hernandez, who was born in Noblesville, lives in Ohio now. But again, these are a local flavor to the team, which is really important to us. We want to be the community's team, so we will go and bring in players from all over the world, as we've done. But we also want to have a core of local players in the group.
Final question from me. How do you make sure that this team gels and is ready, and what's the key to having success, Saturday night against the Dayton Dutch Lions?
Yeah, I think the key for us has always been, it's one of the things that sets us apart from other clubs is we spend more time in the off-the-field team building kind of process than most teams do. You know, a lot of times in the summer it becomes just an all-star team that come in to get ready for whatever's coming next for them in their fall. But we really want them to feel like they're a part of something, and we want to build it in such a way. I like that part personally, and we'll start. You know, this afternoon we have a meeting of where we start sharing stories about each other and just building the culture of the team. I want them to have friends for life. You know, I want them to enjoy this experience as one of the highlights of their soccer career. If we can do that, the quicker we do that, then it starts to come out on the field. You know, we play in such a way that that kind of relationship building really lends itself to how we see the game being played out on the field. You know, Saturday night is early. Like, who knows? You know, I don't know who we are. I don't know who the other team is. You know, this league is always such a mystery at the start of the season. Last year, we were very lucky that we were able to gather points early while we were figuring out who we were. You know, by the time we hit our stride as a team, we had won a lot of games up to that point. That's not always the case. Can we do it again? That's going to be the challenge. Yeah.
Good deal.